Mitch from PickDogs.com. It is halftime of a lot of the early games. We have a lot of one-sided games out there. We got a few competitive games and one really exciting game. The Cowboys and the Lions just seem to be scoring like no one's business. The big surprise of the day, the Vikings just falling apart here against the Broncos. It's going to be interesting to see what the second half line is on this game. I think the Vikings need to get something positive right here before the half. If not, I don't see how they come back. They have been absolutely outplayed on both sides of the ball. Just absolute domination. The Jaguars-Colts game, probably the best game so far today. 10-7 Colts in that one. But I think that game is far from settled. And definitely shaping up to be the physical game that we thought it was going to be. But of course, got a lot of games at halftime right now. Let's just take a look at these halftime lines and see where we are at. Of course, be sure to hit the like button, the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Be sure to share, do all that kind of good stuff. Greatly appreciated. Costs you nothing. Helps us a ton. Let's take a quick look and see what we got for this game right now. And our halftime lines. We got the Saints in a pick'em here with the Bucks. I think the Saints have pretty much outplayed Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had the one nice drive. That's it. I'd take the Saints here in a pick'em. It's minus 115. I would go all the way to at least as far as they'll let you go. I see minus 1.5 at plus 115. I think that's a good place to be. I'm going to take the Saints there. And then Jaguars Colts. I like the Jags here. I think they win this game. I think getting them on the money line is the place to go. Meanwhile, the Texans really not getting anything done here against the Ravens so far. And they are plus 0.5 for the second half. Of course, we have free picks on every game every day at pickdogs.com. I do tons of live shows, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go live at halftimes of the early games. I'm not sure if I'll be back for halftime of the Eagles Patriots. I'll tell you what I have planned this afternoon, or at least after this show, and then we'll see if it fits. I'm going to work out during the second half. I'm going to work out while I watch the games, and then we got 9 basketball NBA games for tomorrow. So I want to get started on those if I can as far as the videos go. And then, of course, we got college football next week's games. I'm going to probably split those up. I've been doing the college football and the NFL kind of in one fell swoop. But the college football lines for next week are already out. So I could probably get started on some of those. But I want to break them up a little bit. A lot of teams playing kind of layup games, but we got some good ones. We have Iowa, Illinois, I think shapes up to be a pretty good game. Let's take a look at these second half lines as they begin to go a little bit more into it. The Vikings just don't seem to be able to get anything going against the Broncos, though, in this game. I like the Saints in the second half. I think they've dominated this game. I like the Jags in the second half against the Colts. And I like the Texans. I think that game has been pretty neutral. I'm a little surprised about I'm most surprised about the Broncos, I would say. The Dolphins have not given up against the Bills, that's for sure, as they have a big kickoff return. And it looks like a touchdown in Miami as the Bills scored a touchdown. The Dolphins did an onside kick. They recovered, and they turned the ball over. And then the Bills ended up getting the ball back, scoring a touchdown. And now the ensuing kickoff, the Dolphins have returned it for a touchdown. So, boy, that over in the Dolphins-Bill games, we really missed the boat on that one. Because, man, when you see kickoffs go back for touchdowns, That's usually a nice over. Meanwhile, the Vikings, just a disappointing punt to end the half. Just a really, really bad half of football that I'm sure they would like to forget. Looking at the college football lines for next week, and we have some really bad games. But it happens. Oh, we always find something, right? But it is Ohio State 19 points over Penn State is the line in that game, which is about what I thought it would be. LSU 46 points over Arkansas. How crazy is that? Arkansas generally plays LSU really, really tough. Iowa State 23 over Kansas. Wisconsin 24 over Purdue. Might be a dog week next week in college football. I think Michigan in a trap game there too against Indiana on the road. Let's take a look at these NFL halftime lines though, as they continue to come in, continue to change. Looks like the Texans and Ravens are back underway in Baltimore, so that game is off the board. Cowboys minus 3.5 for the second half here against the Lions. I think the Cowboys are starting to find themselves in this game, and that might not be a bad place to be. On the Cowboys minus 3.5. I think you might want to take it a little bit more though. Get plus 160 at minus 6.5. I still like the Saints. Pick them second half. Waiting for that Vikings line to come in. I like the over in that Cowboys game. Of course, we got free picks every game, every day at pickdogs.com. I do tons of these halftime shows, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sometimes more successful than others, that's for sure. Certainly don't win them all. Of course, we do free picks on every game. Our most popular live show is the show with Steve on Sunday mornings. No doubt about that. We're doing these NFL halftime shows. Just looking at lines, it's the pause right there. A lot going on, obviously. Let's see if we can get some refreshing of the lines. I'm also putting my own bets in as we're talking. Cowboys minus 3.5 second half. I like that. I like the Saints. Pick them second half against the Bucks. It's the Panthers minus 3.5 for the second half against the Falcons. They have not done anything in the first half. The Jags plus 0.5. I like the Jags there. And the Vikings minus 6.5 for the second half. I mean, they have done absolutely nothing. The minus 6.5 is at minus 150. At minus 20, you can get plus 450 odds on the Vikings. That's for them to win the game. It's plus 450. It's really, it's 3 touchdowns. It's not such a horrible play. But I don't like minus 150 juice on anything. I mean, the Vikings have done nothing unless they totally redo what they're doing. Meanwhile, the Ravens on the move here in the second half early. We'll probably stay on for a little bit longer. The Saints and the Bucks getting underway now for the second half. I really like the Saints if you have a chance to get that in. Yeah, the Vikings were just terrible. They're of today the big disappointment of the bunch. But it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this thing. We'll just give it a couple more minutes. I try and keep these halftime shows pretty brief, about 10 to 12 minutes. And we're about in that range right now. But we'll take another quick look. We'll see if there's any changes. And I'll run down the lines one more time, and we'll call it a show. Of course, subscribe to our channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Got tons of free picks. I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to start doing videos. I'm going to do as many college football as I can for this week. At least I'll cover some of the bigger games, and then what I'll do is I'll hit up the NBA and college hoops for tomorrow. College hoops is a lot of big name teams in action, but not playing against big name opponents. So like Michigan State's playing tomorrow, but they're playing against like nobody. But we'll still cover it. See what we got. Of course, we'll have free picks covered at the site. I'm going to do some videos. I've been doing the college basketball videos just to try and stay up on teams. I would say so far the results have been solid, but have a few that I would like to have back like anything. But so Cowboys minus 3.5. I still like that. I like the Jags the second half in a very, very hotly contested game. The Vikings are just a mess. I think if you're going to do the Vikings, do the minus 14 or minus 20. We got the Redskins minus 3 for the second half. I think the Jets have thoroughly outplayed them. I would take Jets money line second half in that one against the Redskins. The Jets are killing them. The Redskins are absolutely horrible. The Jets are looking for the third win of the season, as the Dolphins are going to the half now. So once we see that line posted, then we'll call it a day, or we'll call it a show, and we'll come back for the halftime of Eagles-Patriots. As the Jags have kicked off now to the Colts, that game has now gone to the second half. What a defensive struggle that has been. Been some serious hitting. I like the Dolphins second half. I just want to see what the line is going to be. One thing about this team under Flores, they have not quit. Cowboys team total over 34.5. Is that full game second half? I'll try my best to answer all of your questions, but it's just not clear. So the Dolphins are plus 3 for the second half. I like the Dolphins in that one. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to check out all of our free picks at pickdogs.com. I will try to be back for the Patriots-Eagles halftime. If not, definitely Bears-Rams. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys either in a few hours or later on tonight. Have a great second half of these games, and good first half of the lates. Have a great one. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go work out and do some videos.